Hello, it's me again. Anyway, so I'm in Los Angeles. Well, it's California. I'm 2 hours away from Los Angeles. Actually, closer to Laguna Beach. And I'm chaperoning one of my sisters. They're getting married. And they're out there. The one sister is out there meeting her. It's my brother-in-law's sister. So she's meeting her in-laws. And they're going to be there for a while, and I'm supposed to be chaperone because they ain't quite married yet, and Dad's old-fashioned, and he doesn't like premarital sex. But he sent the wrong person because I'm not good at taking care of stuff like that or watching people. But anyway, of course, as I'm down there, I get another message. I got to do something. And my sister and my brother-in-law now are busy doing whatever they're doing, so they're not paying much attention to me because I promised, well, I didn't promise 100% Mom and Dad I wouldn't do any psychic stuff. I just said I'd try not to, but I would try not to do it in front of them. But I'm a stubborn person sometimes, so I do what I do. Anyway, I get a message that there's some bad people or bad person doing something bad over there. And he's not a photographer, he's a part-time photographer. He works for the government, and he's a mailman. At the time, I didn't know exactly what he was when I was getting the messages, but he was killing models, and he was a serial killer. And what he would do was he'd go to the photo shoots with the other photographers and take pictures of them pretending to be a model. But he also knew the victims, because as being a mailman, he would deliver their mail and get to know them. Now the trick was they weren't able to figure that out because his job changed 2 or 3 times. His routes changed, positions of his places where he lived changed. His job moved a little bit, it changed. And he's, well, not bad. Mailmen make a lot of money, actually. They make pretty good money, not a lot. But I think he's done 4 people already. And so I was working in a restaurant in close to LA in California, and I was talking to some of the people I work with. We're all Mexicans, spoke Spanish. Italian and Spanish are very close. And I used my Italian to speak with the Spanish people there. And I guess we got raided, and they brought me to Mexico. And this is an opportunity for me to tell the police that there's a person doing this, and you haven't caught him yet, and to give him an idea of what he's doing and what he does for a living and how to catch him. At first they were bringing me to Mexico, and then they changed their minds and brought me down to the police station. And I started to tell them the story of this person. I told him he lives in a white house with a white picket fence. He's got 2 garage doors, a 4-bedroom house. It's all fixed up. He's got a photography room, but he's not a photographer. It's a hobby, and he knows all the victims. And I started to tell him things about where the crime scenes were. And they thought it was a little too much that I knew, because some of it wasn't in the paper. Not that I even read the paper. And they put me in jail instead, thinking that I did it, but I didn't, and I wasn't nowhere around the area from the first murder, but they were thinking maybe copycat killer or something like that, but they were going to pin 1 or 2 of the murders on me. And so the angels come to me and they said, you know what, you've done this before, you go in, you try to do something good, and they punish you for it. They put you in jail, or they try to do something bad to you. And I'm like, yeah, I know what's going to happen here. He says, well, you're not going to be in jail, and you're not staying here. You can't do that. But it would be nice if the angels told me if I listened to them once in a while. I said, well, I thought it was an angel talking to me, telling me to help them with catching this person. He goes, no, it wasn't us. All angels don't communicate together, believe it or not. I said, okay. And each angel talks to me differently, and they converse with me in different ways. Maybe due to my personality, the yin and the yang, or whatever. I don't understand how they converse with me sometimes, actually. But anyway, I'm in jail. But he commits another murder. For me, it's good, I guess. I don't want that person to die, but, you know, hell, I'm going to be in jail for the rest of my life because they're convinced. But now they're not convinced. So they take me out, and now I counsel them on how to find this person. And I tell them, listen, he works for the government. Look for mailmen, milkmen, the newspaper delivery person. Back then, there was a lot of newspaper delivery. Cell phones weren't even popular yet. In fact, they were still pretty big. They came out with this new cell phone that was a little bit smaller, but it was still huge. And you had to pay for minutes and this and that. And it wasn't taken off yet. And anyway, the communication situations were still home lines and stuff like that. So I told him all the information that I had how to catch him. And I said, listen, he's moved from town to town. He knows all these people individually. You got to look for the people that knew him at the time where he was working, at the time the people passed away, the girls that passed away. So they did so. And all of a sudden they narrowed it down to this mailman in a certain town where the last victim was found. Within 30 kilometers, she was dropped off in a ditch. And it was feasible because the guy had 2 or 3 vehicles. One was a van, one was a car, and one was, he was so far up in the work level for the post office that he was able to bring even the post office truck home, or car or vehicle that he had. So we caught him. And at this time, my sister doesn't have an idea of what I'm doing. She's just happy that I'm out of her situation so that she can have fun with her betrothed. They're going to be married in about 6 months anyway. And that's my story for LA. And it seems every time I try to help or do something good with authority figures, I end up getting in trouble. And that's not good. And I didn't even get a thank you or nothing. They gave me a small permit to stay there, like a work visa, for 3 months, not even a year. But I didn't stay there 3 months anyway. By 2 months, we were gone out of there anyway. So that's my story. And that's it. I'll talk to you later. It's Birdy.